Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Sports and Other Things. I'm your co-host Gabe, and with me as always, my co-host Troy. Troy, how's it going?
Oh, doing good. I'm calling in again this week.
Even though last week you literally said you'd be here in person.
Yeah, well, life.
Life, I know. It's alright, man. You know, we gotta do what we gotta do. And honestly, it's not that bad. You know, being able to call in, it still works, so it is just fine. But, a lot of big stuff happening in the NFL this week. I know that I said we were going to do a fun podcast for the next episode and weren't going to do anything else, but there's just too much that happened that we can't, we can't just leave it and discuss it later. For starters, though, we got Big Ben. He's out for the season. I want to talk about him and the Steelers' impact and what to expect for their season. Drew Brees is going to be out for up to 6 weeks, maybe even more, depending on how that thumb heals. I want to talk about, Teddy Bridgewater and how the Saints are looking. And then we'll follow that up by the Jets' crazy quarterback situation. Sam Darnold had mono. Who knows how long before he'll be back. He may be back next week. He may not. Trevor Siemian's now out for the season. They had Luke Falk come in. That's crazy. And lastly, I want to end it on a memorial pod, should we say, for the career of Eli Manning. So I don't expect him to do much past this season. So I want to kind of talk about him and then the Giants for the rest of this upcoming season. So is there anything else that you think we should talk about? Anything else you can think of that happened in the last week?
I think that's a lot. So let's just get started.
All right, man. Well, so we got Big Ben out for the season. I don't even know where to begin on this. This is a big deal. I know Mason Rudolph. He was really good in college, and from what we have seen so far, from his little bit of time as backup preseason, and then the time he got this last week, he looked good. But I don't know what to expect now. I already thought that the Steelers were already going to be a big question mark. But, now it's even more up in the air. And to even think that they'll challenge for the division now is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think that I think it can go two different ways. I think it's a good thing for the Steelers because Big Ben's most likely not going to retire after this. But if he does, he does. But I think that it's going to show them, all right, well, we got to move on from Big Ben here. And he's out for the season. So we got Mason Rudolph, kind of been grooming him for a little bit. Let's see what he does this year.
Right.
He goes out, plays really, really well, and shows that he deserves that starting spot. Big Ben might be like, all right, I call it a career because I'm stepping down. Mason Rudolph stepped up. I don't need it anymore.
Yeah, well, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think that Mason Rudolph is, he had a great college career, and I think that he just needed a little bit of time in the NFL to sit behind. Even though I'm not the biggest Big Ben fan, I think he's a legend in Pittsburgh, and he's been a top quarterback for a while.
And he's a good vet to sit behind, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Big Ben, as far as the all-time records go, he's very high in a lot of them. He won a Super Bowl in Pittsburgh. I believe in his career he went to 2. Is that correct?
What'd you
say? Big Ben and the Steelers, while Big Ben's been on the Steelers, they went to 2 Super Bowls, correct?
Yeah, they went to 2 Super Bowls.
Okay, because I know they won 1, but I believe they lost 1 to the Packers.
Yeah, I think they lost 1 to the Packers and beat the Cardinals.
Yeah, they beat the Cardinals. I knew that one, but I couldn't remember when the Packers won. I couldn't remember if that's when they played. But, the guys won a Super Bowl. The guy has been in charge of Pittsburgh for a long time. He's helped get them, very successful seasons. If it were to be his last year, or if it were to be, if he were to retire at the end of the season, I think he would have a pretty good career in a case for the Hall of Fame. Not a
Yep.
guarantee, but a very, very good case, for sure.
Yep. And the sad part is, if you watched last week's pod, or listened to last week's pod, you heard a Big Ben can take a hit. That's just proven that he hit.
Yeah, I mean, just overall, Big Ben, he's had a good on-the-field career, but he's had some wild stuff that's happened to him off the field, and just the whole story arc of Ben Roethlisberger has been crazy, and definitely, he'll definitely be remembered, regardless if he makes the Hall of Fame or not. He's definitely been one of the bigger, more important quarterbacks, especially in the last 20 years, for sure, like without a doubt.
I bet that he'll end up making the Hall of Fame. That's not because I think he's like the greatest quarterback or anything, but I think that he has the numbers, he has the career longevity that it's deserving.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm kind of pumped up to see what Mason Rudolph can do, and
Yeah.
I mean he played pretty good last week. They lost to a good Seahawks team, but I think that they look pretty good, or that he looks pretty good, and I think that he's got a good offense built around him and a good offensive line. That it's not like he's getting thrown into a bad situation.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be honest, the Steelers are 0-2.
Yep.
So, I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter what happens. Like, I obviously, if you're a fan of Pittsburgh, obviously you want to play well and you want Rudolph to do really well and you want to make the playoffs. But at this point, because Big Ben's out, you're 0-2. It's kind of just the time to see what you have on the roster and what you have for the future. After players like Big Ben and other veterans retire.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, I mean they're 0-2, but they're 0-2 to two good teams. Seahawks are a pretty good team this year,
Right?
And the Patriots are obviously the Patriots. So I mean, they might be 0-2, but if Mason Rudolph, like they got a good enough defense, good enough weapons around the offense. If Mason Rudolph just plays decent, they'll I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, but they'll at least win 8 games.
Well, the thing is, I had them going 9-7 at the beginning of the season.
I don't know about that.
I believe that's what my prediction was. We'll go back here and look. Dang, how long ago did we discuss that?
That was our first pod.
Wow. Okay. So I had the Steelers. Whew. Wow. I still going on. I got a lot of notes, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. I had the Steelers going 8-8 with the roster that they had to start the season. Now, and on top of that, who knows how long James Conner is going to be out? Apparently, I got so. There were so many other games going on and so many other things. I completely missed the fact that James Conner, left the game and got hurt. I don't think it's anything serious, but who knows? That could also affect them. If all they have is a good wide receiver core, which they do, obviously they have Juju, they have James Washington. Their receiving core is pretty good, which is ideal for Mason Rudolph. But if they don't have a good running back core either, man, that's not gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is if you look at him, the James Conner's a fighter. I mean, the dude came back from cancer and made it to the NFL, became a starter. And I mean, he's a fighter, and if he can play, he's gonna play.
Right.
If he's not playing, it's because something's actually really hurt.
Yeah.
And so I think that if he can, he'll be back. And I mean, he's your ground and pound. He's gonna just take as many carries as he want him to have. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I gotta watch a full game of Mason Rudolph to really tell, but I bet they still win at least 7 or 8 games.
Yeah, I mean, it really just depends because they're 0-2 right now. We know for a fact that they play the Ravens twice, they play the Browns twice. So there's 4 games.
There's 6 losses. I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's most likely what the end result would be. So it's like, I mean, there's 6, right? That's so that, I mean, at best that would put them at 10-6, and so it's like, like it's going to be a stretch to finish 8-8, to be honest. But if Mason Rudolph, I mean, we've definitely seen. Obviously, he's not a rookie, but he didn't have any playing time last year, other than maybe a little bit when either Big Ben got hurt in a game or he left after they were winning by a lot. But a lot of people would just consider this his like rookie opportunity, whatever.
Yeah. I think that Mason Rudolph should have been probably higher picked.
Yeah.
I think that even the draft scouts and everybody were like, we had him going in the second round. We had him doing this. I'm pretty sure he was a third-round pick. And I think that there's not very many teams that I was glad that he went to. Not saying that I would want to be drafted by the Steelers or anything like that. But as a quarterback coming into a situation that he has, that's a pretty good situation. I mean,
yeah.
He's sat behind Big Ben. He's got a good team. It's not like he's supposed to take this team from.
It's not like he's with the Dolphins or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's down there with them or Tampa Bay or
Jacksonville.
I mean, we can even go. Yeah.
All the Florida teams are trash. So.
Yeah, I mean, all the talent comes from Florida, and then they go play college ball, and then they get drafted elsewhere, and they don't want to go back to Florida.
Well, so I mean, where I was going with that, we have seen where rookies don't start, and then either the veteran gets hurt or the veteran gets benched for the rookie. Like Baker last year. Baker, Lamar Jackson, 2 instances where the guys came in.
Picks.
Yeah, well, but I mean, even then, the guys came in and you don't know how they're going to be.
Yeah.
And what do? They end up performing very well, and now both of their teams have a very, very good opportunity to win the division. It's unfortunate that they're both in the same division, and then you throw Mason Rudolph in there, who's also from the same draft. So it's it's just that is kind of funny. 3 teams from the division their starting quarterbacks are from the same draft. That doesn't happen a lot. But
yeah, not very often.
Yeah, so. We see situations where it works out perfectly fine, and then we see other situations where a rookie starts immediately or a rookie comes in shortly after and doesn't do well. Which we'll talk about later, the whole Daniel Jones thing. We'll definitely get into that, unfortunately.
Well, and another thing we need to bring up is the Jalen Ramsey trade talks.
Oh.
You want to talk about that at the end, or you want to talk about that now?
Well, I mean, I was actually about to transition to the Drew Brees stuff, but it works out perfect. That way I don't have to fill in that later. You can go ahead and jump in on that, because I know that you were telling me about Jalen Ramsey stuff, probably you saw that video of them arguing with the coach, and then probably it was about 8 hours before he demanded it, before the trade request became public. So.
Yeah, I definitely. I feel very strongly about Jalen Ramsey because whenever he was coming in out of Florida State, it was that was the year Bosa got drafted, and Ezekiel Elliott, and Wentz, and Goff. But I definitely was. Chargers had that number 3 pick, and I was sitting there we're sitting pretty good. We got this top pick pretty much because. The thing is when you have 2 quarterbacks that are projected 1 and 2, and I mean that means you get best player available, and best player available was Joey Bosa, but there was talks that Jalen Ramsey might get picked there, and I mean Jalen Ramsey, people were saying that he's going to be the next Dion, and in a lot of ways I think he is. I mean he's outspoken like Dion, and he's a great player. And his one of his best friends is Derwin James, he's hurt, but he's just all pro safety for the Chargers. And so, like I told Gabe, whenever I saw Doug Maroney and Jalen Ramsey getting into it, I said he's gonna want to trade And I hope they trade him to the Chargers so he can go play with his best friend.
No. I mean,
No.
wait. You did say that. Like, I will admit, you did say that. Oh yeah, they should trade him to the Chargers to play his best friend, but really, they should trade him to the Chargers to make Troy happy. Is what you were also thinking.
No, I mean it's just like the Odell and the Jarvis Landry thing. Like Jalen Ramsey is outspoken like Odell, top athlete, top player. You trade him to the Chargers. He's playing alongside Derwin James. Derwin James keeps him calm. You watch Odell on the sideline when he's playing with the Cleveland Browns, and he's a completely different person than he was when he was prima donna for the Giants.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. But he's still doing a lot of stupid antics on the field, so... You know.
I mean, the defensive coordinator for the Jets was like, oh, Odell? I mean, I'm not worried about Odell. And Odell roasted him for 166 yards.
Yeah, well... Yeah, I can't... I literally have no... I can't say anything, so...
And the Jets' defense is not that bad. You can't be like, oh, the Jets' defense is bad. No, the Jets' defense is a lot better than their offense.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Daniel Jones get some opportunity to throw to Odell, but, whatever.
Yeah, well, sucks.
Okay, get back to the Jalen Ramsey stuff.
All right, so I think that Jalen Ramsey is going to get traded. And if he goes to the Patriots, I'm not watching the NFL for the rest of the season.
Oh, man. Who's the... So, yeah, that happened, and then I'm drawing a huge blank. Somebody did get traded earlier today, though.
Yeah, it was Minka Fitzpatrick.
Thank you.
Another person that I called was getting traded.
Yeah, he got traded to the... Steelers, yep.
And it's funny because after they lost to the Patriots, we were talking about how all the Dolphins players were like, we want to trade, we don't want to play for this organization. And then they lost again. And I said to Gabe, I said, Minka Fitzpatrick's probably hating this because he went from playing in Alabama where they said that he's the closest thing that they've ever had to a defensive mind like Nick Saban, and he's a winner. He went and had a great career at Alabama, and then he goes to the Dolphins and hasn't won 5 games since he's been there.
Yeah, I know. Well, and that's the thing. Like, you literally told me that today. You're like, man, you gotta feel so bad for him. And then he gets traded. Like,
yep.
Yeah. What are you doing?
You're gonna have to cut that out. I took the trash out.
No, I'm totally leaving that in.
Alright, whatever. I don't care.
That's so funny. I just keep doing these random noises, and I'm sitting calmly in my apartment on my couch, and I just hear all this rumbling around.
Yeah. So when you're gone all day, your wife has a few demands for you to do when you come home. And it doesn't matter if you're doing a podcast or you're not doing a podcast. You got to do them. So.
Well, I wouldn't know. Not married. So. Yet.
But all right, going back to it. I think that. Hold on. Let me put the trash bag in. I think that Teddy Bridgewater and the Saints are gonna take this week. They're gonna figure some things out. Drew Brees is going to be in his ear all week talking to him. And I think that Teddy Bridgewater will come out this next week and he'll look like Teddy Bridgewater did a couple years ago.
Well, and here's the thing, so for those who don't know, Drew Brees, while he was throwing the ball against the Rams, the defender came up to him and caught his... It's kind of weird because Drew Brees caught his entire hand on the defender. But the long story short, he tore a ligament in his thumb, and the surgery, it's about a 6-week recovery. So so he'll be out for at least 6 weeks, maybe even more, depending on how it heals. So.
Yeah, and I had a thumb injury a couple months ago, doing a clean, and it wasn't quite an NFL play, but I hurt my thumb real bad. Felt like it exploded.
He complained for weeks, just so you know.
I mean, it's still not this happened end of June, beginning of July,
yeah.
And it's still not the same. I still haven't been able to fully get back to lifting yet, and that was not anything that needed surgery. So 6 weeks is a possibility, even with really good rehab, but it might be longer.
And also, you have to think about it, like, that is on his throwing hand. It's not like it's his offhand. So, like they showed a clip multiple times where he walked over to the bench and he picked up a football, and he had the football in his hand for maybe a half a second, and he dropped it. Like, he didn't even pick it up fully. He just let it go. But the crazy thing is, so, Teddy Bridgewater, obviously, he's been in the system. He's been in the same system for over a year now because he got traded from the Jets at the very beginning of last season. And so, he's had a chance to understand the offense, but he hadn't quite got the opportunity to actually play in it. And I know that, like, reading it and watching it, it's so much different than when you're actually experiencing it. So he hasn't got the opportunity to really play it, and he came in and it looked off. Like the offense did not look cohesive. Obviously, communication was a big deal. They had a ton of false starts, and there was just a lot going on, and it's understandable. You got this quarterback who's never really played in the system, who's now going to be your starter, and he's going to help. But like you said, Drew Brees will be there to help him. Will be there to help push him forward, and be a good leader that he is for these next 6 to 8 weeks, whatever the recovery time is for Drew Brees.
Yeah, and another thing about it is, like, Teddy Bridgewater was the starting quarterback. He got hurt, and that was like 2016, 2017. Absolutely destroyed his knee. They were kind of talking that he might not be able to walk again, let alone run, let alone play in the National Football League. And he's broke all that, and he's been a backup. He's been playing, and I think that he's another guy that if he can play, or if he can play, he's going to give you all he's got. And so this week, like I said, give him and the Saints a week. I bet I'm not saying he's going to come out and they're going to look like the Saints and Drew Brees, but I think he'll come out and play pretty well. And he's another quarterback that you look at, like in Mason Rudolph's sense, is Mason Rudolph's going into a good situation with a good line. If James Conner's healthy, he's got good running back, he's got good receivers, and he's got good defense. With Teddy Bridgewater, he's got a good defense, he's got some good receivers, he's got a good running back, he's got a good offensive line. It's just it comes down to he's got to play his game, he's got to lead that team. But I think give him a week or so and he'll be all right.
Right. Well, the keys to success are clearly there. It's just a matter of if he can use them correctly, which, with Drew Brees, the Hall of Fame career that Drew Brees has had, the amount of time and experience that he has, the guy's going to be there to help him. It's crazy. But did you know that I believe they said since he came to New Orleans, since he left the Chargers, Drew Brees has only missed one game to injury? Because the only other games that he's missed is at the end of the season, where he, like last week 17, Teddy Bridgewater started, and Drew Brees stayed on the bench, obviously because they had already had their playoff spot clinched, and it didn't matter. But it's like he only missed one game due to injury, and then that was in 2004, right? 2006, 2005.
Yeah, he's been with the Saints since 2006.
Yeah, well, because I know that Philip Rivers got drafted in 2004. I couldn't remember how long Philip Rivers...
No. Oh, did you say Philip Rivers? My bad.
Yeah.
I thought you said Drew Brees was drafted.
No.
Wrong person.
I know. Well, so I know Philip Rivers was drafted in 2004. I couldn't remember how long he was on the roster before Drew Brees went to the Saints.
He didn't start until 2006.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. But... so that's the thing. Like, Drew Brees has been a workhorse, and he's been consistent, and so the amount of time and experience that he's gotten on the field, he can give as much of it as possible to Teddy Bridgewater. So they may, what'll probably happen? Like, let's say he misses 6 games, they'll probably go 3-3, maybe even 2-4. but that's enough room for Drew Brees to maybe help them recover, especially if they win like the last 6 or 7 games, then they got a chance to make the playoffs still.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is whenever you have whenever you are playing quarterback, you have a dump pass person that is as good and as talented as Alvin Kamara. I mean, I would take Alvin Kamara over every running back in the league.
Yeah, but man, he looked bad against the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their bad games, but
right, yeah, it is one game.
I mean, I would take if the Saints wanted to do this. Which, I mean, the Saints and the Chargers have a good relationship. They were like, you know what? We really want Melvin Gordon.
God.
Alvin Kamara straight up. I mean, like, you know what? We'll give you a 4th-round pick with that.
Jeez.
But I mean, it's the topic I love to talk about. Load the Chargers up, give them all the talent, everything. I mean, we have enough talent that I would trade a 1st-round pick right now for Jalen Ramsey, but that's just.
Why do we always go back to the Chargers? Like, why?
Well, I mean, we can't talk about the Giants. I mean, it's just like, oh, trash. Saquon Barkley, whoa.
Hey, actually, the Giants are on our list of topics, so I'm sorry to disappoint.
Are we there yet? No, we're not. So let's keep it on the Chargers.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so pretty much, the good thing is Drew Brees won't be out the whole season, so the Saints still have time to recover and make the playoffs and still be really good.
Yep.
So moving on to the weird, interesting Jets quarterback situation.
All right. Well, Sam Darnold got himself some mono.
Yeah. So he could be out. I mean, so he already missed one game. But like I was telling you before we started recording, mono is one of those things where it's not so much the severity of how sick somebody is; it's that you can give mono to your other teammates. So he has to avoid the whole team.
Yep,
And
don't drink his water.
Yeah. He might have to avoid him for up to 2 weeks, 10 days, something like that. And so he may miss 2 games. So if that's the case, Trevor Siemian, which I feel bad for the guy. I really do. The guy, I mean, got his leg or it was his ankle. He tore a ligament. I think they said he tore a few ligaments in his ankle because, oh man, you gotta help me out. Browns defender. It's late.
Myles Garrett.
Thank you. It's late. Myles Garrett's name. Yeah. I mean, great tackle, but holy cow, he took Trevor Siemian out for the whole season. So
yeah, what sucks is Trevor Siemian. For those of you that don't know the backstory on Trevor Siemian, he was drafted like 7th round or 6th round out of Northwestern. Him and Paxton Lynch were drafted in the same draft, I believe. And they had a quarterback battle. Trevor Siemian ended up winning. Trevor Siemian started several games. It was like 7 or 8 games for the Broncos. And he wasn't terrible, but never was like really good. But the Broncos' offense is kind of broken. And he's kind of bounced around a little bit. And the chatter around the league was whenever he got to start this week, they're like, "Oh, Trevor Siemian's getting started again. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if he's deserving of an NFL starting job." Second quarter, broke his ankle. I was like, well, there went that.
Yeah, come in, Luke Falk.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Falk at one point was talked about as a top prospect.
He was, dude. And here's the thing. Washington State was good the last 2 or 3 years. Like, he looked real good, and I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I don't know how he did, but, like... They lost, but, like, obviously you're putting in the third-string quarterback. Like, that throws us... The guy never played in the NFL. Like, maybe some in preseason, but, like, I mean, that's a tough situation. I can understand, like, why it didn't go well.
Yeah, there's 2 ways that normally goes. It's either it's boom or bust. I mean, they're either going to come out and just ball out and just play really well, or they're just not going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're Ohio State where they had 2 quarterbacks get hurt, and Cardale Jones is like, hey, I'm going to play really good.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also the NFL where the a little more spread out.
Right. Exactly.
It's not Alabama like, oh, our fourth string defensive tackle just got hurt. He was going to be a first rounder next year. All right, first rounder the year after that. Go out there.
Exactly. Jeez.
Yeah.
So yeah, that situation's interesting. Luke Fultz.
I feel bad for Le'Veon Bell.
Well, man, and that's what I told, like when he signed there, I told you that I didn't know why he picked the Jets. It's such a weird situation. Like, he could have picked so many other teams to go to.
Yeah, like the Giants.
I'm not even saying that, dude. I mean, yeah, would he be awesome behind Saquon Barkley? Heck yeah, but I'm not
behind Saquon Barkley.
Get out of here. Saquon is better than Le'Veon Bell.
You know what? Oh. Okay, we'll talk about that in about 5 years. So I think that Saquon Barkley is really, really good. But what I would do if I had Le'Veon Bell and Saquon Barkley is I would play every play, and I'd have both of them
because what you would do is you'd have Barkley or Bell line up like they're a receiver and just have them go run, and then you could either hand the ball off or throw it to the other one.
Yeah, I mean, you can do so many different plays. There was a play this last week that was pretty awesome. I completely forgot who it was, but it was quarterback and running back. They were in shotgun. They snapped it to the running back, and instead of so most of the time when they do a direct snap like that, the running back catches it, he's gone. He's going for his run. No,
right.
This dude catches the ball and makes a step like he's going to hand it off to the quarterback. Then he takes off, and it was completely. I've never seen it before, and it was one of those things of you could have Daniel Jones, you could have Saquon Barkley, and you could have Le'Veon Bell. And Le'Veon Bell catches the ball, he hands it off to Saquon Barkley, and Daniel Jones is acting like he's throwing a pass.
Yeah, I mean, I was not saying Le'Veon Bell to the Giants. I just meant because the only
reason I said the Giants is because I always bring up the Chargers, and you always blah, blah, blah. So I was like, let's bring up the Giants this time.
Right? Yeah, I get you. But I mean, for real though,
Le'Veon Bell could probably go play better safety than some of your safeties.
That hurts, man.
I mean, Landon Collins is now playing with the Redskins. So.
I know. Do not remind me.
Hey, I like the reason though.
I did too.
He wanted to get out of New York.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. That's fine. But it still sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I think Le'Veon Bell, it's funny. I almost just said, I mean, he could have gone anywhere. He could have gone to the Steelers, and I'm like, wait a second. Wait a second. He just left there. But I mean, for real though, there was so many situations he could have gone. Like who do the Packers have as running back?
One of the Joneses.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones.
Go to the Packers, man.
I mean, he could have gone to the Texans.
Oh, they would have been loving him right now. They wouldn't need freaking Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson, I'm sorry. Duke Johnson.
Yeah, well, Duke Johnson, okay, for those that don't know this, Duke Johnson is, even back in his days where he was the starter at the Browns, he's never been a number one. He's never been a clear cut, give him the ball, he's the number one. He'll have a few games where he goes for 100.
Fine, I get it. You've been telling me this all week.
This dude has always been just another running back. Pretty much just give him the ball, let him run 4 yards. Give him the ball, let him run 4 yards. Okay, he ran twice, put somebody else in. Oh, they busted a 20-yard run. He's one of those dudes. He's going to get you some yardage, but he's not going to get you very much.
Yeah, well, you've been telling me that all week. I know.
So whenever he's at the Texans and they have Carlos Hyde and they have that other guy that's the third stringer that I don't even know his name, he's not going to be the clear-cut number one.
Fine.
And so I've tried to tell Gabe this multiple times. I don't even want to talk about it. What I want to talk about is, did you start Crowder this week?
Well, I had him on the bench.
You started Crowder with the backup quarterback that also broke his ankle.
No, I didn't. You told me that, since Sam Darnold wasn't playing, Jamison Crowder was going to not get a lot of points, so I put Crowder on my bench.
And did he get a lot of points?
I'm looking right now. Probably not, because I don't know. All my bench players did better than my starters again. No, I mean, he got 74. So, first of all, we play on Yahoo, so our point system is a little different.
No, Troy's point systems are a lot different. Normal Yahoo's a lot more close to like normal.
Okay, well, Troy's weird point system that I still am very confused on how to gauge it, if that's a lot of points or not. He got 74, which is not a lot. But, my other wide receivers, he would have been better than Alshon Jeffrey, who got me 0 because Alshon Jeffrey got hurt.
All right, well, whatever.
And I would have won, by the way, if I had him in.
All right, well, that's fantasy for you. You also would have won if you had Lamar Jackson.
Stop.
This dude is thinking Aaron Rodgers is going to get him more points than Lamar Jackson.
It's not the fact. Okay, no. Here's the thing. I didn't know what to expect the first week from Lamar Jackson, and then they blew out the Dolphins. Okay. So my thought process is, it's the Dolphins. Maybe that was a fluke. There's no way to tell if he'll have a good game again. So what I did was I kept a future Hall of Fame quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, as my starter, because he's, for the most part, a reliable quarterback. And I didn't know what to expect from Lamar. Lamar did great for a second week. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to start him. But you know what's going to happen? Aaron Rodgers is probably going to get more points sitting on my bench than Lamar will next week.
Who the Ravens got this week?
I don't even know. I'm frustrated. Thanks, man. They play... where's he at? They play Kansas City. At Kansas City.
Well, the Kansas City doesn't have the best secondary, but it's definitely better than the Dolphins.
And the Cardinals.
The Cardinals have an okay secondary.
Yeah, anyway. I don't want to talk about fantasy anymore.
Who are we talking about next? Giants?
Yeah, so we'll go into it. So today it was announced that
Daniel Jones,
Eli Manning, is going to be coming off. Well, not coming off the bench. He'll just be sitting on the bench. I can't imagine he's going to get any playing time next week. Daniel Jones was announced as a starter, which I get it. He's number 6 overall pick. The Giants aren't expected to do anything this season. You want to see what you have in him? I totally understand it. I just think that for Eli's career, I just can't expect him to want to come back to the team next season if he knows that he's not going to start. He's 30. He's 30. Yeah, he's 38. He just turned 38. So he's 38 years old. You're not going to come back as the backup coming off the bench. The guy will probably retire in the offseason, and that's okay. When I was growing up and I became a Giants fan, I really loved Eli Manning. Obviously, things have been not very pleasant the last few years. They did make the playoffs 2 seasons ago, but haven't done a whole lot since. So
yeah, I think that, like we talked about Big Ben earlier, Eli Manning is definitely not one of my favorite quarterbacks. But the dudes, with that being said, it's just like Barry Bonds. It's just like Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, and all those guys. It doesn't matter really if you dislike the player. He's made a big impact on the game. And Eli Manning has done one thing that a lot of people have not been able to do, and has beat Tom Brady in the playoffs.
Yeah, so it's Nick Foles and Eli Manning as the Tom Brady killer.
Yep, and I think that Eli Manning, if you take those 2 seasons out of his career, he's been a pretty good player, but I don't know if he's Hall of Fame worthy.
Right. Well,
you put those 2 seasons back in, and you're like Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and here's the thing, even the regular seasons were somewhat average. It's in the postseason that he played really well. But the biggest issue with Eli's career is there were some seasons where he only threw 8, 9 interceptions, which is perfectly fine in a 16-game season. But then there were other seasons he had no line. And so he was literally, anytime a guy would get past the line, he would just throw the ball randomly, or at least it felt like. And I know there was one season he finished with like 22 interceptions. He led the league, I think, at least twice in interceptions.
I can believe it.
Yeah, and that is the biggest reason. Should he not? If he doesn't make the Hall of Fame, that is what it is. But like that would be one of the bigger factors that would lead to people not wanting to vote him in. Like the guy had a lot of flaws, and throwing interceptions is one of them. I'm pretty sure he's second place all time. He's probably pretty close. Brett Favre's number one, but that's only because he played so long.
Brett Favre played for 20 years.
Right. So.
But, I mean, Eli Manning played for 15, 16, something like that. My favorite and least favorite thing about Eli Manning, I'll say my least favorite first. My least favorite is that he got drafted by the Chargers and told the Chargers, I'm not going to play for you.
Oh, God.
My favorite thing about Eli Manning is that he got drafted by the Chargers and he said, I'm not going to play for the Chargers. And then we got Philip Rivers. Because Philip Rivers is a way better leader. And I don't care if he never won a Super Bowl. I don't care anything. I would pick Philip Rivers over Eli Manning all day long, and I don't care.
And that's fine. And that's your own opinion. That's okay. I get it. Like for real, no matter how much crap I give you, I definitely understand it. The guy has been definitely more consistent, like overall for his career. He just doesn't have the playoff success that Eli does. But like you said, Eli literally only has like 2 big playoff success. Yeah, he made the playoffs other years than that, but it's those 2 that really stand out. Where Philip, didn't always have a team around him to help get him to the playoffs, but he would still put up really great numbers.
Yeah, so Philip Rivers and the Chargers, we love to do this thing of like, how good can our potential be? And then we all get hurt and we just ruin it.
Well, and it would also, how good could your potential be? Oh, Melvin Gordon's sitting out. Great.
Hey, Austin Eckler.
Yeah,
remember the name.
I know.
We're going to be talking next year. Austin Eckler, better than Saquon Barkley.
Okay, that might be a stretch. But he has been very good. Like, really, he has been. So, what is your prediction for Daniel Jones? Like, I'm not even talking, like, record-wise. Like, there's 14 games left. I'm not even talking about that. Like, how do you see the rest of the season going for him?
I think it depends on if the Giants decide, even if he's not playing that great, if they decide to put Eli Manning back in, or if Eli Manning's just done for the season and no matter what, Daniel Jones is going to be there. Because we've kind of seen it before where they like give the rookie or the young quarterback like a little bit of due and let him play a little bit, and they're like, okay, he's not doing very good. Let's see if we can put the veteran back in, and then put the veteran back in. It's kind of like, you just didn't really give him enough time. If they don't put Eli Manning back in for the next 14 games and let Daniel Jones just ride it out, just the good and the bad for the next 14 games, that'll be the best thing for him.
Yeah,
for 2 things.
Yeah.
Just let me finish, and then you can talk.
You got it.
For 2 things, I think that he needs to get out of. I played at Duke. He needs to get into. I'm playing for the New York Giants. This is the NFL. I'm going to get hit hard. I don't have a good line. I'm going to get hit. I got to figure out how to throw the ball and accurately, avoid getting hit and taking sacks and not fumbling the ball. For 2, he needs to figure out who on this offense is going to help him. Saquon Barkley, definitely going to help him. I mean, a blind person can tell you that. But then you got Sterling Shepard, you got Ingram, you got a couple different players like that you have to focus on. But when I say focus, I don't mean like just watch them. But you got to know Sterling Shepard's game, because like the thing about Philip Rivers, I know I keep going back to the Chargers, but just hear me out. With Philip Rivers, is he knows the ins and outs of every route that Keenan Allen runs. With that being said, he threw an interception at the end of the game to Keenan Allen, where it was a terrible throw and a terrible read and everything, but I don't want to talk about that. They lost to the Lions. But he knows the ins and outs of everything that Keenan Allen, like all his footwork, all his routes, everything. he knows where Keenan Allen's going to be. That's where Daniel Jones needs to be. He needs to know every route that Sterling Shepard's going to run, how he's going to run it, and where he's going to run it. Because Sterling Shepard is going to be his go-to receiver, and Sterling Shepard, maybe not this year, but he could build off of this. He does have Odell sitting across the field from him. He has Evan Ingram, but Evan Ingram's not going to absolutely just destroy it. Sterling Shepard is going to be the key to his success. Not Barkley.
Well, that's assuming that he can stay healthy. I mean, the guy, he's battled a lot of injuries in his career. You know, I am a Giants fan, as everyone knows, but I don't think he can go a season without battling some kind of injury. Like, obviously, a concussion is much different than the leg injury he suffered 2 seasons ago. But I mean, he missed this last week because he got a concussion. You know, most of the time you can come back in 1 week from a concussion. Sometimes you can't. If he comes back, cool. If he doesn't, he'll be out 1 more week. But I think you're right. Give him the 14 games. See what you got. If they go 4-10, cool. If they go 2-12, cool. It doesn't matter. I think, Eli put in his time. Eli's had the opportunity. I think just time to hand over the reins, and it doesn't matter what the result is. You need to see what he can do, and you need to give him the opportunity. He could be awesome and surprise you. He could be average, and then, he's good enough to where you're okay going into next season and hope that he can improve. And he could be flat out terrible and still go into next season and hope that he can improve. But you need all 14 games. I don't think that playing him for 5 and then saying, he's just not playing well, let's put Eli back in. Because what does this season even matter?
Well, look at Jared Goff with the Rams. They didn't start him, and they went 10, 11, 12 games, something like that. And they decided, all right, we're going to put Jared Goff in.
And he wasn't good. And he wasn't good when he first started playing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's at the end of that season, he played 4 or 5 games, something like that. And they're like, Jared Goff, bust. He's a bust. He's a bust. That's all you heard.
Look what happened. He went to the Super Bowl last year.
I still don't think that he's the...
Yeah, he's a system quarterback, I know.
Yeah, I don't think he's a system quarterback. I think that he might be above average system quarterback. But I think that sometimes people throw out the bus too fast.
I agree.
I mean, switching sports completely. Lonzo Ball, they call him a bust all the time. And I'm like, if you look at his stats, you're like, he's his second pick. I mean, his stats aren't that great. But if you watch him play, I mean, the dude, he plays at an NBA
he can
level.
still get better. There's still opportunity for him to get better.
And that's what's crazy. Is they called it a bust on Jared Goff when his team was not very good.
Right.
That last 4 or 5 games, I think that Todd Gurley was hurt. There was a couple other things that nothing went their way. And to come back to next year, they have a healthy team. They already had a good defense. They just bounced off of each other, went to the playoffs, got beat in the playoffs. Then the next year they come back and they make it to the Super Bowl.
Right. I mean, it's Daniel Jones. There were people that were saying that he's going to be a bust the night he got drafted. Yeah, was it crazy that they used a 6th overall pick on this guy that, he's probably Eli 2.0 or Eli 0.5? We're not really sure. But the thing is, sometimes when you take a chance on people like that and quarterbacks like that, they can surprise you. They drafted Jared Goff number 1 overall. And it didn't look very good, but it ended up turning out well for them because he's their franchise quarterback. Regardless if he's the best quarterback in the league or if he just happens to work well with Sean McVay, it doesn't matter. He turned out to be a good quarterback, and you can't, you have to wait. I think Jones, there are things he needs to clean up, and that's fine. He's a freaking rookie. But those 14 games will help him clean up that stuff. He fumbled, I think they said 3 times in preseason, and then when he was playing the Cowboys in week 1, he was running the ball, and he was pretty close to first down, and he got tackled by whoever, and he fumbled the ball and turned it over. It happens. Like, that's a mistake that needs to be corrected. Everybody fumbles. It happens. So, that time and experience of him learning that is fine. I mean, Eli's not going to be much help in telling him how to not fumble the ball, but, you got to get that experience on the field and help, grow your game and help grow your intelligence on the NFL and just how they play in the pros compared to how they play in college. So,
Yeah.
just give them as much opportunity as possible is the best thing.
Yeah. I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate for a second. So, like you said right there, sometimes you pick a guy early that people are shocked on, and sometimes they surprise you. Well, on the opposite side, I'm going to name a couple quarterbacks that have been picked in the top 10, top 15 in the last couple of years that have not done anything. I can't say not done anything. Have not turned out to be what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Blake Bortles, Jake Locker, Blaine Gabbert.
Wait. What pick was Blaine Gabbert again?
I'm pretty sure he was 9th.
Did he really get drafted that high?
Oh yeah.
Wow. That must have just escaped my mind. I do not remember Blaine Gabbert going that high. Holy cow.
Yeah, and Blaine Gabbert and Jake Locker were picked in the same draft.
Who Jake Locker play for again?
Titans. Blaine Gabbert was picked 10th.
No. I mean, who did he play for in college?
Washington.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah, this year, 2011, was the year of quarterbacks being picked too high.
Well, and the thing is, was Blake Bortles a little too high? Yeah. But, overall, he did much better compared to a lot of other quarterbacks that have been drafted that high because he was at least a starter for X amount of years, and they made the conference finals.
Yeah. All right, here, in the same draft, Jake Locker, 8th, Blaine Gabbert, 10, Christian Ponder, 12.
Oh, Christian Ponder. Woo.
Yeah.
Was Blake Bortles, was he 2012? Or 2014?
No. Yeah, he's like 14 or 15.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, well, anyway, I mean, like he did start for a while, and I said conference finals. I meant conference championship game, but, I'm pretty sure everyone understood what I meant. But, he did have some good times, and then they had some bad times. It just, he worked out well for a while, but it's much better than Blaine Gabbert. I know Blaine Gabbert's still in the league, and the guy's still getting playing time, but for a 10th overall pick, that's pretty bad.
Oh, Blake Bortles was picked 3rd.
That's a little high to only last as long as he did, but I mean, at least he started and played well in a lot of situations, and then you have guys like Robert Griffin III. He got drafted number 2 overall, if I remember correctly, and
yep,
number 2 overall. It looked kind of rough as he started, and then he finished the season amazing. He was playing so well, and it was like, oh my gosh, he's the number 2 overall pick that they wanted.
Yep.
And then the injury happened right at the end of the season.
So you want me to name off some players that got picked after Blake Bortles?
Yes.
Sammy Watkins, Khalil Mack, Jake Matthews, Mike Evans, Anthony Barr, Eric Ebron, Taylor Lewin, Odell Beckham Jr., Aaron Donald, Kyle Fuller, Ryan Shazier, Zach Martin, C.J. Mosley, Brandon Cooks, HaHa Clinton Dix, D. Ford, Jason Verrett. I mean, all those. Teddy Bridgewater, DeMarcus Lawrence, Joel Bettino, Derek Carr.
I got it.
That was only 36 picks in.
Wait, Derek Carr was in that same draft? I thought he was a year after.
Nah, he was picked 36th overall.
Wow, man, that's...
He would have been picked higher if it wasn't for his brother.
Right.
Everybody was like, Derek Carr, oh, this dude's so good. He blah, blah, blah. But David Carr was picked 1st overall, and look what he did.
Hey, man, he won a Super Bowl ring.
Backup?
He may have won 2, actually. I think he was on the Giants for all 4 years as a backup. He was riding the coattails of Eli.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would, too, if I was getting rings. But yeah, I mean, it just shows you sometimes how drafts work. Like, you look at every aspect, excuse me, every aspect of a player, and you look at, and I mean, we know it every year. Combine comes out, some dude just like balls out, shows like he's the fastest, can jump the highest, can do all those things. And then, what'd you say?
DK.
Yeah, but DK Metcalf's actually showing in the league that he's good.
I know, but like I had never heard of this guy, and he was literally like, okay, this guy's amazing.
Yeah, well, I think that DK Metcalf's biggest thing was he had a neck injury in September and was shut down for the rest of the season, and so all he did was build his nutrition and work out, and
he
was
played pretty good against the Steelers.
Fat. Looked like he was like about to like eat an NFL linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he played pretty good against Steelers from the highlights that I saw.
Oh yeah, I think that he's turned into Russell Wilson. Well, Russell Wilson also lost Doug Baldwin, so he was looking for a number 1 target.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so going back to Daniel Jones, like, I think what'll probably happen is Giants are 0-2. Like, you know, I think I predicted him. I think I gave him like a 5-11. And most of that was because I thought, you know, Barkley was just going to be destructive and you know, kill a lot.
He has been.
Yeah, no, he totally has been. But I mean, like, I just thought the games that they were going to win, it was just going to be on his back fully. You know, they've lost both of their games by multiple scores, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen now thinks that the Bills own New York, but whatever.
I mean,
Josh
Allen.
It's not even
greater than Daniel Jones.
Okay. Well, anyway,
okay.
So you know, I think I gave the record 5-11. Like, are they going to win 5 games? I would be absolutely amazed if Daniel Jones wins 5 games of the next 14. But I mean, who knows? It's the NFL. Any team can beat any team on a given day unless you play for the 2019 Dolphins. So, like, they have a chance to go 0-16, by the way, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it would be like the multiple times that they've done it.
No,
they did.
Well, I guess the Lions and the Browns are the most recent. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they did it in the 70s.
That's hilarious. That's funny. They have the perfect season of losses and the perfect season. You know, the Giants, dude, they'll probably win 4 games. Like, they'll probably finish season 4-12, and
if they're lucky.
4-12. So, I mean, would I be annoyed? Not really. I mean, I get it. Like,
do they play the Jets?
Yeah, they usually play they try to play the Jets every year, but I don't. Off the top of my head, their schedule eludes me.
They play the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bucks. They'll win a couple games.
Well, let's look at their schedule. I know they play the Patriots, which sucks.
So
they play the Buccaneers next week.
All right, 1 win.
Then they play Redskins, loss.
Possible win.
Possible, maybe. Vikings, loss.
Kirk Cousins getting back. That's how you play quarterback, boy.
Yeah. Patriots, loss. I don't know how to feel about the Cardinals. Not sure about the Lions.
Kyler Murray will run all over your defense. Don't even think.
Hey, dude, our D-line is pretty good.
Yeah, they're not catching no Kyler Murray, though.
That's true. I have no idea what to feel about the Lions. We'll probably lose to the Cowboys again.
Hey, the Lions are a good football team.
Yeah,
they are a good football team.
Yeah,
hands down, good football
You
team.
have to say that because they beat the Chargers.
Okay. I think it was more of they had a really good game. I think they have a pretty good defense.
I think it was just the Chargers had a rough game.
Yeah, well, I think that the Chargers never really got going offensively, defensively, I think they played pretty good. I mean, they held them to 13 points. I mean, when you hold a team to 13 points, you should win. But I just think.
I mean, but see, the Bears held the Packers to 10 on the first week of the season and still lost by 7. So.
Yeah, well, the Bears have Mitchell Trubisky playing quarterback. If I wanted a quarterback that sorry, I'd get Tim Tebow out of the announcer block.
Oh, that's who, man. Whew.
Oh, and you were talking about RG3, second overall pick. He threw a touchdown last week. So, I mean, he's doing pretty good.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is like he was playing really, really well. If he hadn't had an injury, it wasn't a matter of that he didn't perform to his ability like a lot of the other high picks. It's that he suffered massive, massive injuries that affected his play. And
because the thing is once he came back from, he tore his ACL in college, he got back from that, and then he got hurt in the playoffs.
No, he got hurt the week before the playoffs.
Yeah, but then he ended up playing in the playoffs.
And he got hurt again.
And so whenever he rehabbed all offseason, came back week 1, I remember I watched that game because I wanted to see how RG3 was going to play. And he would step back, and as soon as the defensive lineman would even get like halfway through an offensive lineman, he would like go just chunk the ball. And he did that. He was also throwing off this back foot, which if you know anything about throwing a football or a baseball or any ball, is if you throw it off of one foot, especially your back foot, you're going to throw it high. And he was throwing pick after pick after pick.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, it was not a matter of if he had never gotten hurt. I'm not saying he would have been the greatest quarterback ever, but he would have had he would have played really, really well. And here's the thing: he's in a perfect situation because he came in, didn't play bad for the Ravens at all, and if you need him in a pinch, I think he's fine. So the Lions. Giants probably will beat the Lions, but they could lose. They'll lose to the Cowboys.
No, there's no way they're going to beat them. If Kerryon Johnson is playing for the Lions, there's no way they're going to beat them.
Okay, fine. They'll lose to the Cowboys. They will probably... I don't know about the Jets. Not sure what the situation is. They'll lose to the Bears. They'll lose to the Packers. They'll lose to the Eagles. They better beat the Dolphins. They'll lose to the Redskins, and they'll lose to the Eagles again. So, that's 1... maybe 2, maybe 3, 4. Yeah, 4.
What would you do if when they played the Redskins, Landon Collins sacked Daniel Jones and hurt him?
Dude, that would be so upsetting. Because, honestly, I don't even know... there's another quarterback on the Giants roster, but I don't know who he is. Like, something Talley or Taylor... Alex Tanney, who's played not at all. So, Alex Tanney?
Yeah.
Monmouth.
Oh, yeah. I remember him.
Well, and the thing is, they drafted Kyle Lauletta out of Richmond, and they waived him at the very beginning of the season because guess what? He's terrible.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
I mean, they probably call up another Manning to come play.
Who, Cooper? What are you talking about, dude? They already called a Manning up. It's Daniel freaking Jones.
What would you do if they had like a ESPN 60 and they're like Daniel Jones is actually Eli Manning's brother, but it was with a different woman, so they hid it.
I would feel very bad for the Manning family. But, however, goodness, I see the resemblance.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there was pictures after he got drafted of them next to each other with their jerseys and helmets on, and they're like, did you just Photoshop Eli Manning next to Eli Manning?
Well, and then the thing is, Daniel Jones was sitting on the sidelines in preseason, and he was making one of those goofy faces that Eli always makes, and it's like,
this is Eli's face.
I know, it's like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so I think that pretty much covers everything, we want to go over. Like I said, we want to do a fun pod, but it's been a crazy week in the NFL. Hopefully tomorrow, we can cover the upcoming Cubs-Cardinals 4-game series and discuss the current division races and wildcard races in the MLB. The MLB postseason is coming soon. God, that's going to be a big deal. I'm going to really try to stay up on all the postseason stuff. Maybe try to cover some scores and post some stuff every day. Not sure. But I'm going to try and keep up with it.
I definitely think we need to have a talk on MVP race because there's been some key injuries and different things in the
race. Yeah, that'll be a big deal. But we can save that for right before the postseason actually starts. I just want to do it tomorrow before the Cubs-Cardinals thing goes because that is a huge, huge deal. So, as of right now, we're going to have my brother on with you and I. So hopefully all that goes well. And then next week, I'm going to try to go to the fair this weekend. And then next week we'll discuss some of the crazy and absolutely horrible, by horrible I mean horrible for your body, but very good when eating it, the fair food. I'm going to try and come up with some kind of ranking between the foods that I saw and or ate, and then rank them, and then we'll go accordingly. Just kind of some fun stuff to do, because I know that, especially in the last month, all we've done is talk sports, and we haven't done anything else, so...
No other
things, exactly. So, well, Troy, if that's all you got, man, we can go ahead and get on out of here.
Alright. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too, man. I'll talk to you guys later, and please like and subscribe our page, and leave us any comments or reviews, and you guys have a good one. Hopefully we'll talk to you again tomorrow.